Welcome again, Front Row Roundtable Show, presented by Ralphie's. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Norm Waymer. This is the hardest working retired guy I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Mark Benson, from 94.5 XKR. Marty Bin, Fairway Mortgage.
Yes, sir. I was just wondering
Don't hold back here.
Well, no, I was wondering how soon I'm allowed to get the show off track. First segment, second segment. I mean,
I think you already have.
There's wagering on this. That's right. And I think I just won the bet.
The over and under.
Yes. I've just hit the under.
All right. Let's. You gave me an idea on something, but we'll kind of get to yours. But I want to start off with this. Did you see the collision play at the plate?
Yes.
Jake Marisnick and Jonathan Lucroy, and Marisnick gets 2-game suspension. What's warranted?
What would Pete Rose have gotten?
Oh, lifetime ban. Wait a minute.
Well, he got that anyways.
Wait a minute. Okay. Different topic.
Oh, yes.
Funny story. I had Pete Rose on the show, and I asked him, I said, did Ray Fosse not give you anywhere to go? And he says, nobody's ever asked me that. It's like, really?
Wow.
Because he said, yeah. He said, didn't give me anywhere to go. Now, I thought that when Marisnick had to make his decision of where he was going to go, I thought Lucroy was in the way. He had a foot just to the left of the foul line. So maybe you had a back corner to the plate you could have gotten to if you'd have swiped it with your hand going head first. But I thought he was in the way. So Marisnick was going to go in front of him, and he guessed wrong.
Before I answer that, can somebody tell me what are the rules now? What can and can't you do as far as going to the home plate?
No, you can't run over the catcher.
Can't run over it. You can't bump him. You can't touch him. I mean, where's the line?
Catcher's not supposed to be able to block the plate.
This now feels like charging in basketball, which is like it's the most ridiculously subjective. So if the catcher dekes this way and then bails back and you happen to make contact, they failed with this one. I mean, I get the obvious try and dislodge the ball. If you come in with a forearm and you're, trying to light them up, I got that. This wasn't that. And I think the suspension stunk. Because I'm with you. I looked at it and thought, I don't know what I would have done if I
watched it a number of times. I watched MLB Network. Dave Valley, who was a catcher for the Mariners, of course, he was on the catcher's side, saying it was totally the runner's fault. Duh. But he did. His left foot was slightly over the line. Not by much, but it was slightly over the line, which means the catcher's taken up about 2/3 or 3/4 of the plate.
Well, with the rules, it just changes. It changes the game. It changes what the catcher is thinking, what the runner is thinking. Do you take the attitude, well, I better watch out because I might get rung up if I go in, like 10 years ago would have been legal, fine, and part of the game. All of a sudden now you're starting to think what you can or can't do. And I don't think it's a great idea. I like the old days. I mean, it was part of the game. Yes, catchers certainly got hurt. So did runners. Now,
the problem is, though,
everybody had to make a business decision.
Guys are getting bigger, faster, stronger.
I heard this week. That's right.
Are you saying they're not? I mean, come on.
But okay, both of them are bigger, stronger, faster. So relatively speaking,
Buster Posey isn't. He's not the most imposing catcher in the world, and that's where this all started.
Right. I understand.
No, I'm fine with the rule, but you got to give the runner somewhere to slide.
Absolutely.
And I didn't think he had sufficient place to slide. I think he probably thought that Lucroy was going to go for a sweep tag on this side, so he was going to try to go to the other side.
And then it got hung up, and it looks ugly.
And Lucroy, it's almost like a charging call. Yeah. It's like he almost slid underneath him.
Well, and then what started this with our exchange earlier is, and then the guy comes back and gets plunked in the middle of the back up. And then we're not going to ring that guy out of the game because that might have been accidental. I mean, seriously, the fact that you hit no one else and that guy gets plunked in the middle of the shoulders, knock it off.
It slipped.
Well, who could have seen it coming? I mean, it's again, you're going to here we go, unwritten rules of the game. Marty, what do you think?
Well, but then have it be unwritten and then let them enforce it. Because my thing is, if you run over my catcher, you get plunked in the back and we're all square.
Absolutely.
But I got 2 games, so if I got 2 games, why do I still have to get plunked? This is where the unwritten and the written intersect in a place that looks like gibberish to me. and maybe I'm weird about that, but it doesn't make any sense to me what's going on right now, because now we have what used to be policed by the players and managers.
Right.
Major League Baseball's intervened, and then the guy still gets plunked. So now what? We just keep plunking until we all feel like we're square? Because if I got 2 games, I feel like I've done my time.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn because I really don't know what the rule is. I mean, I grew up the same way you guys did.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I always thought when we were square, right? You took one, we're even. It's supposed to end
I
there.
played middle infield. I never had a runner take me out because I didn't stand there and get taken out.
And that was part of the game for a long time. Long time. I mean, and the shortstop or second baseman had to try to find a way to not get in the way, but sometimes, it happens.
Well, there's a couple of ways. You either come across the bag, take a step and square up and throw, or you can, if you're coming at the back angle from if your shortstop coming from left field angle, you can step on the bag and actually step back and throw. So
But if you're coming into the bag, you have a right to the bag as much as the infielder does. It's when you go way out of the baseline to take somebody out, I get that part.
Well, and when the other thing that used to happen, and it hasn't as recently, but back in the day, guys that come in cleats high.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking, back on the back butt cheek with, 3 feet off the ground cleats. Okay, we know what you're doing
You're
at that
talking
point.
Ty Cobb cleats high.
Well, but that wasn't just Ty. That happened for
Right.
there were certain guys that played that way. Because, one of the worst episodes I ever had, I was a lefty and I'm playing men's softball at 30 years old and somebody needs me to play second. And I go to turn double play and turn the wrong way as a lefty and get raked. And I'm thinking, it's Detweiler Park men's softball. So I just spiked the ball in the guy's forehead and then bench is clear. But it's the same thing. You come in with your cleats at this angle.
Right.
hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. If you come in cleats high around the bag at second base, you're going to get a ball in the mouth.
This is what I'm saying about the unwritten rules. I thought I was supposed to plunk him in the face, and I missed a little bit and hit him in the forehead.
You just throw from underneath here. Runner will get down.
Yeah.
He won't come in high.
This is escalating awfully fast here.
But I'm saying,
But
that's
those days,
why I gripe that the unwritten rules and the written rules
right.
have created a weird sort of funky middle ground that I don't like. Like either let the players and the managers handle it or don't.
The unwritten rules are gone. They're just gone.
Well, and then
everybody's got to accept that they're gone.
If a pitcher hits somebody, the umpire thinks it's intentional, then he's going to do a warning. So you already hit somebody there. If somebody comes back and retaliates, as usual, like football, the person that gets caught retaliating is the one that's going to be penalized.
It's like the bat
garbage.
flip.
Right.
It's like the bat flip. I mean,
And I'm fine with a bat flip. A bat flip, who gets hurt in a bat flip?
As long as you're not throwing it at somebody.
Why?
Then,
That's or picking up the broken bat piece and winging it at a
well,
guy.
I liked Madison Bumgarner yelling at Max Muncy when he took one in the Bay. Hit over the right field fence in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And Bumgarner was yakking at him to, not flip the bat, not watch the ball. And he says, well, if you don't want me to watch the ball, then go fish it out of the ocean.
I'm with him on that.
So I just think the unwritten rules are gone, and we should let them go by the wayside. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, and one of Marty's favorite players is in town this weekend.
Stop texting me now.
Chat about that and some problems with the electronic strike zone. When we come back, it's Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Chill out today at Ralphie's with their frozen margaritas and daiquiris. And get half-priced wings after 9 p.m. 7 days a week. What goes great while watching baseball games on our many screens? The quarter-pound all-beef dog basket, served with a pop or draft. Daily for just $9.99.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
What can you expect from working with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation? Our branch manager, Marty Bin, can help you navigate through the loan process with the service and speed you deserve. Contact Marty today to get pre-qualified. Make your home buying dreams a reality. Call 419-481-8696 to speak with Marty Bin today.
Power Bomb Wrestling returns to Toledo coming up on Sunday, August the 18th. It's a summer stunner at St. Clemens Hall, 2990 Tremainsville. 4 title matches on the card, including Brandon Day defending the heavyweight title against sexy Sean Casey. And you can find everything you need to know, including tickets, at pbwexcitement.com. It's the Summer Stunner, Sunday, August the 18th, and Power Bomb Wrestling. And back we are on the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's. Ralphie's, my home away from home. We were watching 3 baseball games on Sunday, actually, at Ralphie's.
That's right.
Somebody tweeted, who goes to a bar and watches baseball? I do.
Yeah, me too.
Half-price appetizers after 9, including 10-count wings at your area Ralphie's. All right, well, your guy, Tim Tebow, in town this weekend.
Please stop texting me. I know some of you love him. Just put your phone down.
Okay, continue on. I just had to get that out of the way.
He needs to retire.
The best tight end you never saw play his correct position needs to retire correct. Go back up in the booth, be a commentator, or do whatever else. He's probably a really great guy. He's just not a great baseball player, and he was a mediocre quarterback.
Earlier in the week, he was hitting 157. His on base was 231. His slugging was 253 in AAA, with 93 strikeouts and 229 at bats.
And he's taking somebody's place who may be more qualified in AA.
No, he's taking a spot of the last guy in the roster.
And I think maybe there's somebody better than. Well, it's a name, and it draws a crowd. There you go. Except this guy.
All it does is make me shake my head and think, why? Why?
There was a news anchor from another station in town, we'll just say that, and who said, well, he got farther than Michael Jordan did. And I got thinking about that. And I believe Jordan was a better player than Tebow playing baseball. Because what people don't realize is that Tebow started off down in A-ball. Jordan went right to AA.
Correct.
And actually played pretty well down the stretch, and actually went to the Arizona Fall League, which the top prospects go to the Arizona Fall League for about 30 games or whatever it is. And he hit about 290 in that Arizona Fall League, and that's against a lot of really good prospects, because by that time he was driving the ball. And let's not forget he stole 30 bases too. He was down there and played a decent right field. Good arm, obviously. But the reason that if you remember, he stopped playing was the players were on strike.
Oh, right.
They went on strike at the end of '94, and they were still on strike at the start of '95, and he didn't want anything to do with that and went back to basketball. Had they not been on strike, he may have not gone back to basketball.
So you're trying to use facts as opposed to emotions and a secondary love of the guy to defend that Jordan was better than Tebow?
Well, Jordan was getting to be a pretty good player. I mean, he was getting better as the season went along. I know somebody's going to go, oh, he hit 202. Yes, he did. But he hit better later in the season, started driving the ball when he started to understand what was going on. You know who his manager was? Terry Francona.
Oh, right.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah. We talk about players that are going a different sport. Bo Jackson comes to mind. And I think he must have been the best, at least example I could think of.
And he's not in either Hall of Fame.
Strange. Yeah.
Well, Dion, as much as I hated him as a corner
Right.
because he wouldn't tackle him, because it was a business decision, was a very talented baseball player and could fly around the bases and do a lot of things.
You know what I liked about him, though? He left the football attitude at the football stadium.
Yeah, he was not that way.
No.
I saw him at
He said-
Ned Skeldon, and he was probably one of the nicest. It bothered me because he was a 49er at the time, and I wanted to hate him. And then I was like, well, that's not the same guy. He would, like, Neon Dion wasn't the baseball player.
He said Primetime played football. Deion Sanders played baseball.
It was very strange, and he was very likable.
Yeah.
Still bothers me.
And I think could have been a pretty good player too, had he dedicated just to one side.
Yeah.
But hey, how many people get to play both? I thought it was awesome. It's just funny
Well, but some people are not that good at either.
Well, I know, but
Stop it. I know. Leave me alone.
Bo Jackson was fantastic for doing it, but everybody got on Deion Sanders for doing it, which I don't understand at all. I don't know what the difference was.
But if it brings people into the stadium, is it a good thing? Tim Tebow's still playing.
No.
If that's the goal, to get people in there.
The fact that we're wasting a segment, and I do mean wasting a segment on this, bothers me on many levels. Because
I'm trying to appeal to your sensibilities, your sense of logic here, and it's not working because you just don't like it.
All right, let's go.
He was decent commentating on college football.
Okay.
Stick with what's it. Look, you and I aren't playing. We know our wheelhouse.
I just poked the bear here. We'll.
I want to go to something else here. I'll get us out of this. We've talked about the electronic strike zone, okay, and they're working on it in the Atlantic League, the Independent Atlantic League. And Frank Viola, who's a pitching coach in the Atlantic League, got thrown out in the first inning of a game because apparently the way they got it set up is that the umpire can overrule the electronic strike zone if it messes up. And there was like 3 pitches that were on the edge of the strike zone, and the electronic strike zone called them all balls. When really they should have been strikes, because if any part of the ball's over the plate, it's a strike.
And he had a meltdown.
And he had a meltdown, and then the next day somebody else had a meltdown because the ball was about right here, and the system said it was a strike. It's just to be expected, though.
Do we need an electronic strike zone?
Yes.
Isn't the umpire in the judgment just, again, going back to where we started, part of the game? We've been fine all these years. Why does this have to be?
So I have because I watched what I consider one of the 3. I don't watch tennis that often, but one of our golfers didn't make the cut, so we're all watching breakfast at Wimbledon, and I got hooked and watched what I consider one of the 3 or 4 greatest tennis matches I've ever sat through.
Agreed.
And then
Right.
the system that calls balls on the line or whatever is efficient, it's quick, it's accurate, and you look at it, and none of us were arguing whether that ball was in or out, and it didn't affect the flow of the. What are you shaking? I thought it was perfect.
I'm agreeing with
I thought it was perfect. And the idea that tennis could get it right and baseball can't boggles my mind, because there's way more money in baseball than tennis. So fix it, goofballs, because I loved watching that tennis match and never thought a call ruined the match.
I'm all for it for tennis. I don't have a problem for tennis. Baseball.
We have technology now, and the only guy that doesn't know that he blows a pitch at the plate is the umpire. Everybody else knows. Dugouts know, batter knows, everybody at home knows. The only one that needs to call it and doesn't know is the home plate umpire.
Then why do we have umpire? Why do we need a home plate umpire then? We got a perfect system.
Yeah, plays at the plate.
Well, it's balls and strikes, so then he'll be in there if somebody's coming home.
Okay, good. Take him off the field. I'm all right with that.
No, I would be completely fine with him officiating the whole game from upstairs.
You would.
The whole game, because we have enough cameras at every major league game now. It doesn't matter anymore. Actually, in football, I'm just as fine with that. Just adjudicate it from
I
the side.
hate home plate umpires. So.
And I hate where the referee stands in football. It's the same thing. It's like, get him out of there. We all see it.
From the time I used to pitch, I don't think they're very good. I really don't.
What, umpires?
Umpires, yeah, especially calling balls and strikes. I don't think they're very good.
I disagree. At least you watch the box. You're watching a Fox broadcast. Watch the box. When you're over 90% correct, I think that's pretty good. 95% correct.
Oh, I don't think they're that
Yeah,
correct.
I think they
you're
are.
being very
I think-
generous.
I think
I can tell you, and I was a mediocre pitcher, but I used to be able to expand the strike zone out to the left as a lefty that threw junk. And I would know, as long as I was picking the corner, I could pick it a little further out. And pretty soon the ball was that far outside and I was getting strikes all the time. And I'd laugh and think, well, he just gave it to me because I happened to hit the mitt, even though the mitt had nowhere near. And the batters were ticked off all the time. And people were like, well, that's good strategy. It's also not the game. And Greg Maddux used to do it all the time. And we'd all look and go, well, that was 3 balls outside.
But if the umpire, I think the main thing is that's going to happen. He's got to call that strike for everybody. He's got to be consistent.
Right, and
they
that
don't.
doesn't happen.
I think he was looking at the Quinnipiac poll. I think that because that's kind of an outlier.
It bothers me that
Is
we're
that
going to agree. Look, the fact that he and I agree should bother you, because it pretty much does not. And not
All
just
of
on.
us agree together that
That'd be the end?
That'd be trouble.
Well, we might do it in this next segment.
Okay.
Electronic strikes.
You wanted to talk about Russell Westbrook, and have I got a deal for you when we
Perfect.
come back? It's for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's.
Chill out today at Ralphie's with their frozen margaritas and daiquiris. And get half-priced wings after 9 p.m. 7 days a week. What goes great while watching baseball games on our many screens? The quarter-pound all-beef dog basket, served with a pop or draft. Daily for just $9.99.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
What can you expect from working with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation? Our branch manager, Marty Bin, can help you navigate through the loan process with the service and speed you deserve. Contact Marty today to get pre-qualified. Make your home buying dreams a reality. Call 419-481-8696 to speak with Marty Bin today.
Powerbomb Wrestling returns to Toledo coming up on Sunday, August the 18th. It's a summer stunner at St. Clemens Hall, 2990 Tremainsville. 4 title matches on the card, including Brandon Day defending the heavyweight title against sexy Sean Casey. And you can find everything you need to know, including tickets, at pbwexcitement.com. It's the Summer Stunner, Sunday, August the 18th at Powerbomb Wrestling. All right, welcome back for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. Norm Weimer, Marty Bin, Mark Benson. I don't think you've really taken the show off the rails yet.
Stand by.
It's time.
Well, you texted me this topic.
All I was trying to figure out is, and you know, I don't look at Twitter much or Instagram, but I was dying last week when I hear that Westbrook is going to the Rockets, and the first one that comes
Houston
is
Rockets.
Is Harden and Westbrook fighting over a ball. Somebody had memed that in there, and there's like this thing, and I'm thinking, probably 2 of the historically highest usage rate guys in the history of the league are now on the same. There's not enough ball. Are the Rockets going to ask the NBA to allow 2 balls to be in play? Because that was the text. Are they going to allow 2 balls to be? I mean, that was, I said.
Houston Rockets petition the
NBA to allow 2 balls to be in play to help their new roster, because that's the only way it's going to work. I believe that, because how is that going to? Please explain this to me.
Because somebody's got to change their game, and they're not going to change the game.
I don't know. I think as players get older and mature and don't have a title, the title becomes more important, and the rest of the stuff becomes less important.
We're going to need to check his temperature after this segment, because I think he's got a fever developing. I mean, he started out very coherent, but he's drifting out of style.
Do you remember Mark Aguirre?
Ooh. Now you're hitting me with facts.
I mean, there's a perfect example.
All right.
You know, he had the reputation at Dallas as being a me guy and didn't care about anything else. And he got to the Pistons, and all that me stuff went out the window, to the point where he suggested to Chuck Daly that Dennis Rodman start.
Well, I had this argument last week, and somebody brought up J.R. Smith with the Cavs too. So, you know, a classic, you know, black hole where the ball went in and it never came out, and it just ended
Now,
up.
some guys don't ever get it, like Derrick Rose. And I don't imagine he's going to get it with Detroit, but again, I don't imagine Detroit's going to challenge for the NBA title this year.
Correct.
No, again.
But I'm interested. I mean, what offense do you run with those 2? Like we alternate who brings it up and who stands out on the wing and holds it on their hip until there's 8 seconds left in the shot clock?
I love Russell Westbrook. I absolutely love Russell Westbrook.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out before the season starts, obviously. I mean, that's discussions, and they're
The
going
only thing I would agree with you is I'd rather watch Westbrook play than Harden, because that game is that game. If there's any basketball style I can't stand now, it's the, you know, jump into a guy, fling some 3, go shoot free throws, and then that travel 3-step step back thing or whatever the heck that is, where he walks 4 times while shooting a 3. I can't take it anymore.
All right. Do you have any big baller brand shoes?
Well, they're about to be souvenirs.
They were only $4.95 when they were new, and if you were saving them to resell them, you're probably going to be disappointed here. Apparently, there was a volleyball tournament in California over the weekend, and they were selling big baller T-shirts for $5.
What?
You can't make a shirt for $5. You could get for $100. You could get shoes, a hoodie, a T-shirt, and socks, when originally just the shoes cost $495. apparently the website doesn't work. His son is suing one of the guys that started the company.
For taking money. The best thing that's come of all this is I don't have to listen to LeVar Ball anymore. Thank you.
Oh, but it was fun, wasn't it?
No, because there's a guy that just needed to shut that blank up.
But you knew it was going to happen.
But the problem
You knew it was going to work out well.
what I feel is people who bought all that stuff for full price, how are they feeling today? Especially, I think they're going to turn it over and make some money.
If you bought
That could
that,
happen.
if you bought that at full price, get help,
Well,
because that's on you.
they need it now.
Well,
Yeah.
you probably don't have any money now anyway. Because if they could suck you in, then probably pretty much anybody else would too.
Yeah, there's not much left.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll have sent their money to some Saudi prince that they got emailed from.
The quote I saw today when you brought that up, I was scrolling through the feed and I was laughing at, he'll be better than Jordan and LeBron by the time he's done. And I was thinking, or
not.
a throw in on a 8-player deal to get Anthony Davis to go there. One of those is probably true, LeVar. And where is Jamelo and where's Melo? I mean, are they anywhere now?
I don't know. One's Lucille. I don't know.
I mean, what? One's still got an ankle bracelet from something in China, and the other one's doing something. I mean, what's going on?
Wow.
Isn't that right? Ankle monitor, bracelet, what do you want to call it?
Now we're off the rails.
Why wait until the very end?
Sound like Russell Westbrook better. Just saying.
Well, then Lonzo Ball, that's really not that difficult a decision. Talk about shooting from the hip, literally.
Mm-hmm.
The dad, he actually was on WWE one time. And was so embarrassing, they didn't ask him back. Now, how embarrassing do you have to be where WWE just goes, nah, that's a little too far.
Well, how embarrassing do you have to be when you get banned from ESPN? I mean, seriously.
I'm surprised he doesn't.
Screamin' A. Smith has a daily show and LeVar got banned. That's how bad you have to be.
I'm surprised he doesn't have his own show on ESPN.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Because if you look at their hiring practices lately, I think you could fit him right in there.
somewhere between Stu Gatz and Stephen A. Smith, you can fit a LeVar.
That'd be awesome. Does he do a podcast?
No, and do not tune in. No, please.
It's like a big car accident. All right, we are about done. Powerbomb Wrestling coming your way at 2 a.m. You can't catch a DVR. You can't do that. Go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Norm Waymer in the search bar. You got our YouTube channel. Subscribe, and everything comes up for you. And plus, if you'd like to help sponsor the show, get a hold of me through Facebook, Twitter, call me, Telegram, whatever. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Mark, thank you. Marty, thank you. It's the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's.